Alright, I know it's Wednesday for you, but it's still Monday for me, so I'm recording all of these on the same day, so I'm not moving and I'm not changing clothes, so just bear with me. Okay, it's Ask Lee Wednesday. So, as mentioned previously, if you have any questions you'd like me to answer on this Wednesday slot, then please ask them in the comments to these videos, to the Ask Lee video, specifically this one, because I kind of go through the comments and the questions and line them up as we go along. So if you've got any questions, leave them in this one. All right, so the first question is from Tumeki. In your experience, in what ways do angelic forces differ from other sets of spirits? When working with them and when they're interacting with us, have you found any distinct traits, features that's unique to them? The angelic forces, I feel, are very much related to kind of natural states, if I can put it that way. So you will find that they are very influential of the emotions. Can also be very influential over natural phenomena, weather patterns, things like that. I think mostly what you'll find is that the angelic forces work more towards a spiritual aspect rather than a physical, mundane aspect. It's often where I find the separation myself. If working with angelic forces, it is more focused on spiritual teaching, spiritual attainment, and such things. I know a lot of people will work with Raphael, for instance, for healing, which can be considered a mundane aspect because it's healing the physical body. But you can also heal spiritually and emotionally. And a lot of people have positive responses from doing such work. So, this becomes my own personal opinion, obviously. So keep that in mind. But yeah, so the angelic forces, I feel, are more related to that spiritual aspect, whereas if we're working with the demons of the Goetia, it's more attainment of a mundane aspect. Business, work, money, love, sex, all of those kind of mundane, physical, earthy type of attainments. In relation to other spirits, there's so many. Gods and goddesses, I can't really place that. It's kind of in between almost, and it depends which gods and goddesses you work with. There are certain gods and goddesses and pantheons even that are more closely related to the earth aspect, whereas others may be more closely related to a otherworldly aspect. Hecate, for instance, is considered to be within all three realms. So Hecate can come through into this more earth-based bound realm, but also into the underworld and up into the upper world. So I do feel that depending on which spirit you're working with, it will, or you may find it in a different realm, focused in a specific realm. But yeah, your angelic forces are more your upper world type of entities, whereas your Goetic and your demonic forces of a Jinn nature are more earthbound, middle world aspect. Spirit guides and such can often be found in the upper world and also the lower world. Animal spirits, animal fetchers are usually found in the lower world, middle world. So there's a lot of overlap, and obviously it becomes personal to who's working with that particular spirit. All right, I hope that answers the question. It's a bit convoluted and a bit, I think it largely comes down to A, which spirit you're working with, and B, the personal interaction with that spirit. All right, so I'm going to leave it there. If you've got any other questions, just ask and we'll see if we can get into them a bit more. All right, so the second question for this week comes from a cultista. I'm curious about what kind of gifts or offerings would you give if you would want to get help in something specific or uncommon. For example, working with, for example, boon for prosperity and wealth. So choice is obvious. Money, wealth related items like jewelry or pendant with Mercedes logo. Love matters is also quite clear, like perfumes, flowers, some good smelling plants. But what about something like improving astral senses or helping in necromancy or improving your occult work? Or getting better and gaining proficiency in, for example, coding or 3D modeling, video editing. What would you propose as a token of gratitude? Because I think it is good to express thankfulness. It's very good to express thankfulness. But when it comes to gifts and offerings, it doesn't need to be specific to the request. It needs to be specific to the spirit. Think of it, I'm going to come back to my normal human interaction, human relationship scenario, example, metaphor. Think of it in the same way. If you have a teacher and you ask that teacher to teach you how to improve your finances, or you ask that teacher to specifically teach you how to do 3D modeling. Two different requests, and your gift or offering is not going to be related to those requests. It's going to be related to what the teacher actually likes. So if the teacher likes chocolates, then bring them chocolates, and it will cover both aspects. If the teacher's diabetic, don't bring them chocolates. Maybe they like a bottle of Bacardi or something, some rum, you know. So it really depends on the spirit that you are working with. What I like to do, you know, being demonolatry, is to build those relationships. And through building those relationships, you sit down and you talk to them. And it's not just that once off, I call you to do X, Y, and Z, you go off and do it, thank you very much, here's a present for you. Now, cheers. It's about building proper relationships, about spending time with them, interacting with them, talking to them, and it doesn't need to always be requests. You know, you don't just sit down and say, I want X, Y, and Z. It could be, hi, how you doing? My day was crappy, or my day was fantastic. This thing happened, I met this person. Talk to them like you would with any other teacher and any other guide. Build those relationships, and through that building relationships, you also come to learn what they like from you personally. You know, you can go onto the internet, you can get correspondences and lists of offerings that other people have given, and it's a good start. It's a good starting point because it gives you an idea of what kind of things they like. Some will like sweet things, some will like salty things. So if they like sweet things, you can sit down and I like to sit down with Boone and have a cup of hot chocolate, and I'll spill a libation into the dish, and then I'll sit down and sip the hot chocolate while I'm having a chat with Boone. So, you know, it really is about what the spirit likes and not about the request that you are or the thing you are asking for. So, yes, I think that answers the question. All right, so that's it for this week. I've got another 2 questions lined up for next week, so I'll leave them for then. And then there's no more questions after that. So definitely ask your questions in the comment below. All right, so I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers for now. Bye-bye.